Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing fantastic. So today I am excited to share this video with you. It's a little bit different than a lot of my videos, but I think it is a super important topic. And also this is one of my first YouTube collaborations. I've already actually done one with the amazing Ariel Renee. She is the mastermind and the owner of Flourish Lashes out in, I believe, Toronto, Canada, and asking her a little bit of her insights around the industry of eyelash extensions, especially because it is something that is gaining popularity. So let's have a conversation around it. Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Dr. Natalie Chai. This channel brings you the latest science-based education and treatments in dry eye disease, myopia management, and specialty contact lenses to help you understand why it should matter to you for optimal eye health, function, comfort, and even beauty. So I'm definitely somebody who is open-minded. I like to think of myself that way. In the general sense, when we're talking about lash extensions, in passing, it usually gets, again, a negative light, especially with optometrists and ophthalmologists, and for good reason. And so that doesn't make us happy when we see those types of patients in our chair, which we've actually talked about already on Ariel's channel here. As an eye doctor, I can say no. Don't get eyelash extensions, they suck. You know, they're going to ruin your eyelashes. But hey, rather than being the Debbie Downer of everything enjoyable in life, including lash extensions, why not have a conversation about what to do beforehand so that we don't run into these issues? I love her perspective because her YouTube channel that I linked below in the comments below here, check it out. She has a lot of good educational videos for lash artists and just educating them about the good products, what things to do, and we'll be going over some of those questions right now. So question number one. So what made you consider lashing and getting into the lash industry, and how long have you been in the industry for?
Yeah, so actually when I started doing lashes, it was about 5 years ago. I've been in the industry for a little while in terms of like the beauty industry. I used to do makeup, and then I actually started doing lashes as a side job to just kind of make some extra money, and I ended up doing it full time. So it's been about 3 years now that I've been doing it full time. I have a nice clientele going for myself. It's kind of just how I've gotten into the industry.
That is awesome. Yeah, 5 years in any industry is a good amount of time to get experience. That's kind of like me. I'm at 7. Oh my gosh. So let's get on to the second question. So the second question is, well, based off of our conversations in the background together, you had mentioned that there has been some gaps that you've noticed in training, especially with lash artists. Can you tell us what kind of gaps that you've seen personally in your career up till this point?
Yeah, this is actually something that I'm super passionate about, just because I know myself, I've gone through training and it was absolutely terrible, and I ended up having to teach myself a lot of things. And then I also see now, being more of an experienced lash artist now, a lot of new lash artists coming out and saying the exact same thing. There's a lot of gaps, there's a lot of things that you should know that you're just not knowing, and realistically it comes down to everyone, I guess everyone just gets trained differently, so there's little things that just get left out. And I think there's not necessarily one specific thing that's being left out, but it's more so of a training that's being done very, very quickly and very, very fast paced. And of course, there's only so much you can learn in a certain amount of time. So I think it's the matter of finding a training that is a little more elaborate and goes into detail, and isn't just like a quick buck for the person that's training, and just making sure that they're certified, so that way you're able to cover a lot of topics, a lot of ground. And then I think the thing about lashing and getting certified is that it's generally like a 2-day training at most sometimes, and there's only so much you can do, right? So I think it's about having a mentor and being able to contact that trainer at any point, anytime when you experience things, because there's things that come up while you're lashing and while you're in the industry, and you don't know how to handle them because you weren't necessarily taught that, because of course they can't teach you everything in the training, right? So you definitely have to find someone where you can contact them and just let them know, like, hey, I'm in this situation, can you help me out?
Well, thanks so much for the insight. I had no idea that the training was that short. So I can understand kind of the growing pains of somebody getting into lashing and of course learning as they go. So thank you for that. So question number 3. So are there actually differences between lash salons or lash clinics that you have seen? And if so, what should clients look for when they are considering going to a certain location, in your opinion?
Yeah, so in terms of salons, and I guess it would be more like lash rooms or private local lash artists, there are differences, and sometimes it gets a little bit tricky. Obviously, when you're going to a salon that is a certified, licensed salon that is doing things the right way, or assumed to be doing things the right way. But when you look at a local lash artist or someone just doing it privately, there's definitely a risk of that person that you don't know if they just started, you don't know what training they've been through. There's no technical, I want to say, restrictions when it comes to doing something privately or at home. So you definitely have to be careful and know the experience level of that lash artist. No one's saying don't go to lash artists that are doing it locally or doing it from home or anything like that, because I mean, I do it from home, but you definitely want to make sure that that lash artist is experienced, they know what they're talking about. That's why like consultations are super important. I think just being thorough and doing your research beforehand so you know what to ask and what to look for from lash artists, even if they're not in a salon. I think that's really important.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And I love the idea about consultation. I don't think I've ever heard of that for, at least with lash extensions. Let's get on to question number 4. So let's get a little bit more real, maybe a little bit more personal. However, I'm curious for myself. What makes a lash artist great and another one not so great?
So, okay, so this one's a little bit tricky, but the thing about being a lash artist is you definitely, I mean, this is kind of for anything, but you definitely grow as an artist with time. So, I mean, people can be at one stage today and then a whole different stage next year, and that's usually what happens. But in terms of being a good lash artist, I think it comes down to catering to your clients. And I think a lot of people get into lashing for the money and just assuming that it's a quick buck that you can make. But I think distinguishing the good from the bad is really finding a lash artist or being able to talk to a lash artist that actually cares for what they do. They have a passion for what they do, because when you have a lash artist that is genuinely passionate about something or genuinely passionate about their clients, they will not sacrifice their clients' health in terms of their lashes or allergies or anything like that to make a quick buck or to have this dramatic set that that client can't actually handle. There's a lot of things to consider when applying a set, and sometimes when you look at lash artists, they apply the same type of set throughout their clientele, and that's where you get a little bit, I guess, a little bit suspicious, because not everyone can handle the same thing. So you want to make sure that you are dealing with a lash artist that genuinely cares to know what you want, and then also cares enough to know what you can handle, because most of the time you as a client, you're not going to know that. You have to leave that up to your lash artist. So you want to make sure that you have a lash artist that is able to tell you and consult with you and really give you a thorough analysis of what you can handle as a client.
Yeah, that is so true, Ariel. You're absolutely right. I could say the same thing for myself, is that the way that I practice right now is totally different what certain people can handle or cannot handle. And that's where that trust piece is so important, and the consultation piece is so important, because for me, sure, I can look at a picture and it looks fantastic, it's like I want that, right? But it might not be good or healthy for your eyelashes. And let's go on to question number 5. So I'm just super curious, is what are the types of lashes that people are asking for nowadays?
For me, I find that it comes down to season, time of year, and when like holidays are coming up and things like that. So it does fluctuate throughout the year. Some people want something a little more dramatic, some people want something a little less dramatic. It just also depends on the person. But generally, as a whole right now, I would say that the lash industry itself is getting into a lot of dramatic sets that look like strip lashes that you would buy from Sephora or wherever and apply on yourself. And there are a lot more styled sets that have like more texture to them, that have more lengths to them, and they do require a little bit more more skill to apply. And honestly, this is where it gets a bit tricky because people ask for these sets, and these are where those sets can harm your lashes. So it's definitely something you want to consult your lash artist with to see if you can handle it or not. A lot of the times too, it depends on what you offer as a lash artist. If you have a specific style that you do more often, so if you like more natural sets, you're going to probably do more natural sets. If you like more dramatic sets, you're probably going to have that showcased on your Instagram or your profile or anything like that a little bit more, so you would attract those clients to you, right?
Yeah, that's definitely such an interesting trend at the moment, and I do agree with you as well, as that can be very seasonal. Let's move on to the last question. Is there anything in your opinion and from your perspective that you'd like to see more of or less of in the lash industry, just to help preserve the health and safety of our clients while keeping the beautiful lashes for them?
This is actually such a good question. I'm so happy you asked this. I think that doing lashes and providing what a client likes, they say this picture is what I want, and I think I would love to see more customization when it comes to lashing, and I think really taking into consideration your client's lash health, because I think that that's also something that's skimmed through when you're actually getting trained on lashes, and they don't really go into detail about being able to analyze your client's lashes and know what they're able to handle. So I think that's something that we should all definitely learn a little bit more about, and just knowing that what you're doing isn't damaging your client's lashes, because at the end of the day, lashes really don't damage your natural lashes. It's actually a great little enhancement that you can have without having to worry about that. It's just a matter of making sure that the person you're going to is taking full care of your lashes. I think I personally would want to see less of right now is those really long lengths. I know that right now it's really common to see 22 millimeters or 20 millimeters in length of a lash, and to me that's outrageous. I would never provide it, just because I know that the weight on that is extremely heavy and it could damage a client's lash, and I would never want to risk that. So that's something that I think should be it's getting normalized, I find, and it's something that people are like, how do I do this, how do I do that? But you don't want to do that. Like I would never want to teach someone how to do that, just because I know that it's not something that everyone can handle. So that's something that I would definitely want to see less of, and definitely taking the time to analyze your client's lashes and learn how to analyze your client's lashes to know what best suits them is something I would want to see more of.
That is so amazing. I love to hear that. That's why I like working with you and just learning from you so much, just because I totally agree with you, especially with something so personal, so precise when it comes to the handwork with lash extensions. Definitely needs to be customized. That's why I see a lot. You're right. I'm seeing these huge, like really big floppy eyelash extensions, and I'm just wondering, like, how can, number one, these people see? Because you essentially lose your superior field of view, and also, as you said, the weight. Like, I can't imagine just how heavy that is on someone's eyes. Thank you so much, Ariel. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Okay, yeah, so in conclusion, honestly, I'm really glad that we got to have this conversation and really talk about like the lash artist perspective, because I think that a lot of people, especially maybe on your end, would be really afraid of lash extensions and think that it's just a hard no. But I think that there are pros and cons to everything, and it's just a matter of finding the right person or the right artist, the right style that really works for you, and it could really benefit you, and it could be something that you love, and you don't have to worry about damage or anything like that. So I'm really glad that we were able to do this, and thank you so much, Natalie, for bringing me on your channel as well, and letting me talk about what I do.
The same sentiments right back at you. Everybody who's watching, if you have any specific questions for Ariel, I have attached her YouTube channel here and also her Instagram profile, which is excellent. But thank you so much, Ariel. I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy woman, and hopefully everyone has learned a little bit about lash extensions, and it's all about doing the right research beforehand and doing the prep. So doing your due diligence at the beginning so that we can save the heartache on the back end. So that's it for me today. If you like learning about topics such as this and other things such as dry eye disease, myopia management, and specialty contact lenses, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you don't miss a video every second Thursday. So take care of your eyes, and we will see you next time.